Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns 2, presenting a Breath of the Wild any percent tournament match. It is Winners Bracket Round 3, Coensi versus CBF. On commentary for you today are Ariel and Tao, and since they know the game way better than I do, I'll just leave it to them from here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's winner bracket race. We have Coensi versus CBF. Me and Tao were talking before we started, and Tao actually knows quite a bit about these runners. So if you'll take it away, Tao, and introduce these guys.
Yeah, sure. First, I want to point out that Coensi is in light mode on his Switch, so I'm already slightly
I
rooting for
mean,
CBF now. Welcome everyone. I think we're in for a great match between these two. These two are very closely matched. Both have recently PB'd in any percent since the start of the tournament. Coensi has a low 28. CBF has a 27. And they both won their first two winners bracket round matches. Coensi with a huge upset in his last round match, beating second seed Rocco to get to this point. So
big upset.
I think big upset. I think we are gonna see similar strats from these two, a similar consistency, and so hopefully we see an exciting match going into the boss rush at the end.
Yeah, I like a nice close match where where both runners are neck and neck. Comebacks are fun too, but comebacks are also stressful.
Yeah, and neither of these runners are any percent. I would say are any percent specialists. CBF has been getting PBs in all sorts of categories. Grabbed the best ending world record for kind of a brief moment there. Coensi, big bingo player, recently got a 19-hour time in Hundo,
which is very impressive, very good.
Yeah, so these are two runners who just know the game in and out in all aspects. So we'll see what they bring to this any percent run. This is best of 3.
Yes. So after the first match, there will be another match, and depending on how the second match goes, there might be a third match. Haha, that's how best of 3 works. I believe did we get our start?
I see Coensi and CBF in the opening cutscene, and the race timer is off.
All right. So we've got about a minute or two. Tao, what's your favorite thing you've seen in commentating so far in the tournament, or just the favorite thing you've seen in the tournament so far?
Well, I think one of the most interesting things is seeing the meta for this run sort of like converge on a set of strategies that's kind of most of the runners now take over. I think in the qualifiers a few weeks ago, we saw a lot of people doing a lot of different things. And if you don't know the any percent run, there are choices you can make at like every single point. Case in point, these runners are going to clip out of the Shrine of Resurrection. They can choose which shield they go for, how much backup food they take. But, over the weeks, I think we've seen runners decide that pot lid is the way to go. Pretty much,
with the exception of a handful of people, yeah.
I actually think in the last round, only player 5 went for Boko Shield. So
that tracks.
Yeah. Pot lid now the overwhelming choice. I think typically runners will skip the peppers when they get to the first Boko camp, but pick up the mushrooms for backup food, and then go from there. As the weeks have gone on, I think runners have just all kind of, hive mind decided what the best strategies are, and it's really cool to see that happen kind of organically. Coensi's the first out of the Shrine of Resurrection.
Yes, I agree as well. I also like watching certain runners kind of figure out what works best for them and what strategies they'll need to do that will make them either more comfortable or more confident, or what works best for them, and in terms of everything from what backup food you pick up, if you pick up it at all, or even where to get skew. There are certain runners that get skew in certain places when they're, grinding the category for PBs and whatnot, but it's not as consistent. So they might choose to get skew in a more consistent location for a race because they know they can get it, and even if it's a little bit slower.
Oh, and just as we're talking about runners converging on a set of strategies, we see Coensi pick up the 3 mushrooms, which has been the most popular option, but CBF decide to forgo them.
All right.
And CBF, at least from our views, made up any time that he's lost from the Shrine of Resurrection. We'll see
right.
how CBF gets through this next Boko camp. It's definitely something that runners have gotten more consistent, like not getting hit in this next Boko camp. But bad things can still happen. You kind of take a weird line, the Bokos react a weird way, and suddenly you're getting hit. So Coensi can survive a hit, CBF can't.
Yes, and especially as with almost any race, an early being ahead early will pay off.
Okay, this is like the most stressful part of the stasis split here, and CBF blocks the arrow shot.
Oh my god! All right.
That was a great heads-up play from CBF, realizing that he was a little slow to that Boko, putting out his shield, taking a durability on that shield in order to save himself the damage, and he gets through that Boko camp alive.
Well, as we all know, Potlit is way OP and can take a hit, so it's fine. That shield isn't going to break.
Oh yeah, I mean, if any of you watch any of the longer categories, especially all dungeons, the Potlit is like the only field that's done in that that run, which can run to 1 hour 45 minutes to 2 hours. So
yeah,
Potlit, a very durable shield, and we got no deaths so far in the stasis split.
CBF clipping in a little quicker than Coensi and picking up that rune. He's a little bit ahead. Nothing crazy. Stasis Shrine is pretty chill. There are no guardians to mess us up. This shrine is really almost about clean movement. And you can really tell which runners have really worked on their movement because you can see it in splits like this.
Yeah, and one thing you might not pick up is that when each of these runners goes to stasis or unstasis an object, you might see them pull out their axe for a split second. And that's a throw cancel. It cancels the animation that Link does with the Sheikah Slate and allows the runners to get up and running a little bit faster. So if you have, I actually think Coensi didn't do that there, but
CBF did those,
yeah, you see kind of these little optimizations that you might not notice until it's pointed out.
Yeah, there's also the attack animation cancel that you'll see. People will throw their axe and they'll jump immediately afterwards, and that cancels the big axe swinging animation because the axe is a two-handed weapon and it's meant to be slower. It's the sort of the trade-off the game sort of made in terms of kinds of weapons and how much damage they do. The two-handeds have much higher damage but are slower, supposedly. If you can do the jump cancel, it makes it a lot quicker. Although that doesn't matter for the axe because the axe is 3 damage. Doesn't really. It's not really good for much for cut down trees. All right, CBF and Coensi doing a mandatory little cutscene and interaction with the old man who's definitely not King Boss Rama's of Hyrule. Definitely not Santa either. He's just some old man, Normally, after this interaction, our runners will scan for amiibo, if I remember correctly.
I think we can expect to see both runners scan their amiibo right here.
Yeah, but if one of them doesn't, then they'll look like they're ahead.
No. I think we do this every single time. I think CBF is scanning here.
No, he's scanning here. I was about to say, did I remember correctly that CBF is the person who doesn't scan amiibos after stasis? But no, I think he may have changed up his strats a little bit.
Maybe. I thought he scanned at bombs, but okay, he gets all the fish that he needs in 2 scans.
He's also doing one of my favorite strats, which from this that I've seen in this tournament, which is CBF has picked up a hardy bass, which he will cook in castle to get extra yellow hearts, so he can avoid being one-shot by Ganon. This is something I've seen a couple people do with a hardy salmon as well, and I think it loses for the amount of time that it loses. It saves a lot of time if you get hit, because dying in Ganon is very costly in terms of time, but taking an extra few seconds to cook an extra meal and he did.
As we see CBF get first try cryo BTB, Coensi following right after. Yeah, aerial, like the hardest trick in the game, or the most stressful trick in the game is
Fall damage
parrying.
cancel.
Well,
Yeah, sorry. Well, I mean, I think but when over you're a runner. You know what really is the stressful one.
well, I think the most stressful one is parrying Ganon's laser at the very end. Probably it's pretty lenient time window, but probably the hardest A press in the game. And
yeah, definitely.
As we're talking about the hardy salmon, that's kind of what CBF would protect against. These runners have to do 2 parries of Ganon's laser at the end, and I think with the hearts from the hardy salmon, CBF can survive missing one of them.
Which is good. Which is again, it's. I think that's really much about runners knowing themselves and knowing what makes them feel more comfortable, or knowing that that's a good idea for them to do. But if you're confident in your parries, then it's not something that you want to waste time doing.
Yeah, it's not something that CBF would do in a run where he's going for PB, for instance.
Yeah, because it's like, why would you need that? Because if you die in Ganon, you just reset.
Yeah.
We have both of our runners going for fast cryo. CBF missing his jump and not quite getting the wall, and also Coensi failing the same trick in the same way.
Mirroring CBF. So.
Oh no! Coensi getting shot by Cheryl the Guardian, unfortunately, but it's not going to matter.
We said these runners were of similar skill levels, and they're showing it off with failing the same trick in the same way.
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually. I was no one did the ultra quick cryo, which is the wall jump over the wall, but not many runners do that. Only a handful actually.
No, it's like 11 or 12 inputs really quickly on your controller to save like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, CBF into MagBTB. Note slate storage for CBF.
Mm-hmm.
Coensi trying to set up slate storage, is not getting the inputs, is going to try for a third time. CBF has gotten off MagBTB, looks like a good angle. Coensi finally gets slate storage and can set up the arrow shot in the aim.
Which I think is very smart, using slate storage for this fall damage cancel, because sometimes it's very hard to see. CBF getting an excellent MagBTB angle and is going to clip into the shrine. If you get a weird forest angle on this BTB, it's hard to judge where to start your fall damage cancel. So slate storage doesn't need to be frame perfect, if I remember correctly, and so you can be a little more It's a little more forgiving.
All right, so CBF pulls ahead after Coensi gets forest angle there. This is a deceptively large time loss. I think if you're watching, you think, well, Coensi got the BTB off. He's made it a far distance, but this time to run to the shrine and clip in can feel like forever.
Yeah, it's a very not fun joggers. Or it's also called clown sprinting, because it's like I feel like an idiot, just running feeling like an idiot.
I haven't heard clown sprinting before.
Oh no, that's a joke I've stolen from somebody. Those who know who I've stolen it from will know.
Okay.
I have no original material. I steal all my jokes, but they're always very funny, so that's why I steal them. CBF saying hi to Greg the Guardian in Magnesis. Hopefully he won't get shot at. Oh, he did not get actually shot. That's good.
And does a durability save on the potlet there. Probably just playing it safe. I don't think he really needs that. Yeah. But lands on a shield to clear skew.
Yeah, they're about a full shrine apart now. Coensi just picking up Magnesis Rune, and CBF finishing up the shrine.
Okay, I think we can expect CBF to go for box walk here. Not quite sure what Coensi's strat would be, but we'll wait and see. Ooh, CBF has DLC installed. That's what that chest there next to the crate means.
U-Silver Bingo has a ruby in it.
useful for a whole bunch of categories. An easy 210 rupees. Completely useless in any percent though.
Yeah, no, you don't need any money in any percent. No one picks up any money. If you pick up money in any percent, something wrong has happened. Oh my goodness, getting a very nice BTB to bombs off the
Yeah.
Boko at that little camp. That camp has caused a lot of runners a lot of problems because those Bokos like to just, when they're angry, they can be very unpredictable. Not getting as close to, not getting quite as close to the shrine as I think he could have, but wanted to play it safe by ending the fall damage cancel a little bit early, I think. And start ending the BTB a little bit early with a fall damage cancel. I'm remembering the names of things so well, Tao. You should be so proud of me.
Ooh, CBF has a nice clip into the bomb shrine. Okay. Let's see how Coensi decides to get across the water. He is... Wow. Coensi is adopting the
Whoa,
bomb's
interesting.
bliss.
We're calling it Bliss or we're calling it BLSS?
I say bliss because it's one
right.
syllable.
I like that better. More people just call it Bliss. So Coensi has spawned an amiibo to get some barrels and is using the barrel for a Bliss, a bomb slide, something. Or wait, no, it's bomb.
Bow lift, smuggle
No, bow
slide.
lift. Sorry, bow lift, smuggle slide. See, I congratulate myself for remembering the names of things, and then I immediately got the next one wrong. Which is a fairly new discovery from Legend of Link a couple months ago, and is a much easier and more consistent way to do overworld travel. And for this split, I think the jury is out on whether it's really quicker or not, and it really depends on execution. But I think for those runners that have enough trouble with that BTB, that just to skip it entirely makes the most sense for them in terms of consistency, which is something that I think is interesting.
Yeah, if you think of the calculation for bombs BTB as well, like you could get there a little bit faster at the risk of potentially losing 45 seconds if you miss bombs BTB to the Bliss, which might lose 5 to 10 seconds depending on what strat your opponent is doing, but will get you there pretty much all the time.
Of course, watching Coensi do his BLSS, I have no idea how CBF got through bombs. It looks like he did it very quickly. I don't know if he even did he try for the gamer win bomb and go off pegs, or did he just go for the normal angle and go through it normally? I have no idea.
Maybe someone in chat can tell us, because I was just...
we were distracted.
I was zoomed in on Coensi's stream just because navigating the Bliss with that barrel is kind of tricky and takes up good deal of practice, and Coensi did a fairly good job, even though it looked like he was going off angle for a little bit. CBF looks like he's got a good wind bomb to trees. Ooh, slides right to the tree.
Nice, very nice. We'll be doing a tree. It's not necessarily a tree launch, more of a tree ride. Getting his arrow. Oh no. Yeah, that's the tree launches are deceptively difficult. Watching them, it's like, oh yeah, you just do this. It's actually quite tricky, which is why having these two trees here is very helpful, because sometimes it's very easy to miss.
Sorry. So Coensi went for Gamer Win Bomb, missed it, but CBF is telling us in chat that he did Gamer Win Bomb and got it. CBF.
Well, CBF, get out of chat first of all. You're busy.
CBF, regular commentator in this tournament, and I guess he's listening to stream right now, and helping us out.
Well, thanks so much to CBF. Appreciate it, but get out of chat. You're busy. CBF getting the second tree launch to Temple of Time and beginning the paraglider cutscene. He almost died on the roof, but he was able to do a quick little save and had to use one of his fish, unfortunately, to make sure he didn't die on the roof.
After Paraglider, I think close to consensus is to give Castle BTB one try and then go into the Lumina backup if you fail. That's a change from qualifiers where people might have done the Bliss first, or...
oh no, Coensi!
Coensi fails the wind bomb to trees, got a little too high of an angle. CBF does not get Castle BTB and just transitions into Lumina backup, pulling the paraglider as soon as possible so he can land safely, and then he moves over to a place where he can set up the Bliss. Gets a little pop-up there. You think that pop-up is just kind of RNG. But the extra height is not really going to matter. He's going to clear the wall, no problem. Ooh, Coensi having some trouble with the wind bomb to trees. He dead angle there.
Yeah,
The
so
game
he's
kind of
just...
Yeah, the game kind of just stops you if you're going a little too fast. And now he needs to run to the trees.
That's unfortunate. He's gonna lose a fair bit of time to that. Not a lot of time, but he's not improved. He's widening the gap at this point.
Yeah. All right. CBF approaching Castle Gate, and he's gonna hope that his game has not decided to load this gate so that he can just walk right into Castle.
Right through. Please. Okay,
Awesome.
there we go.
He's got it.
Nice. Unloaded gate.
Oh, Coensi misses the tree launch there. Looks like he's just going to run straight to Temple of Time. He's not going to try any backup.
I think Coensi is doing what sometimes runners who know that they're behind in the race do, which is go with the safe strats, make it with only a minimum amount of time loss, and so you'll be there and ready to take over if your opponent has a serious mess up. Which in Castle, which is full of very scary things and very little, it's not forgiving with its mistakes. So if you make a mistake in Castle, you can just die. Because everything in Castle can kill you very quickly if you have 3 hearts.
Yeah, I think as we see CBF go for a safety strat here and getting the Dragon Fang, Castle's one of those things where, a death here will force you to reload and you'll lose some time there. But the time losses here are not as big as they are in Plateau, where missing a BTB can cost you quite a lot. So generally, we've seen runners be pretty consistent with their Castle runs. So essentially, at this point, CBF has a pretty strong lead over Coensi, and so Coensi's going to have to do a lot to make it up. As we see Coensi just jump straight down and start the Bliss. There was a question in chat about what's faster, Castle Bliss or Castle BTB. I think the consensus is right now that first try Castle BTB is the fastest option, but then backing it up with Bliss is faster than reloading and trying again, or at least more consistent.
Coensi having a little bit of trouble with the Bliss.
Yeah, and you can see here one of the issues with just going for Bliss right away. The setup time for Bliss is very long compared to the setup time for Castle BTB specifically.
Once you've got the setup down, it's much faster. Although I will say that as more time goes on, people will improve their execution. It won't be quite as long, I don't think. CBF going for 6 ancient arrows.
Yeah, he's got 6 ancient arrows, stayed in bounds the whole time, has his wind bomb up to the bridge.
And is going
missed
to go,
the bridge.
But, what...
He can just climb back up, and the mob.
Oh, right, right. Okay, yeah. I was about to say, why does he need to come in? And then I realized that in order to distract the moblin, you have to come from that angle.
Yeah. All right, CBF wrapping up Castle just as Coensi is getting to Castle.
Which is,
Okay, we see CBF actually spending some arrows so that he just has the minimum of 7. And that's to make the menuing and equipping a little easier later on.
Interesting. I was about to say, why would you... that was interesting because I was wondering why you wouldn't want to have extra arrows just in case, but I think I understand why.
So
if it's a menuing thing, then yeah.
Yeah, so if you're on 0 arrows and you pick up new arrows, you auto-equip them. And at one point, CBF is going to pick up the bomb arrows in Sanctum, and he wants them to auto-equip, so he doesn't have to menu to them.
That's really interesting. I've never seen anybody do that. That's cool. Yeah. He also made his attack up food with the dragon part, so he will not have to worry about running out of attack up food. Again, very smart.
All right, CBF has his Windblade skip attempt off. You see some shaking.
See? Yeah, he runners have to get Wind Blight skip. They don't have the weapons to beat him.
All right, CBF is into the boss rush. Coensi is cooking his attack up meal. Based on his camera position, yeah, he's going for 6 ancient arrows as well.
Mhm.
All right, spin with the Edge of Duality. CBF could speed this up if he got triple hits, but only got double hits there, so needed an extra one after the slam. In phase 2 Water Blight, the trick is to try to get a headshot in as Water Blight is waking up from getting knocked down. It will save about 5 to 10 seconds, and is super difficult and could potentially waste an arrow.
Yeah. The new and improved castle route, which has been adopted and has taken a lot of time off of a lot of people who grind this category. One of the benefits is that it's faster, but one of the downsides is that the weapon routing is very, very tight, and wrong hits here and there with the wrong weapon can really cost you, because the durability and the routing is very tight with these weapons for this boss rush.
All right, CBF gets Fireblight phase 1 with no problem. We actually see Coensi need to break the pots in the corner there for an extra arrow. So whereas CBF had way more arrows and was even just shooting them into a wall to...
Oh no! Oh. Coensi got shot by a laser during his wind bomb to Sanctum. Oh, that's rough.
That is rough. It shouldn't lose too much time. Basically, the reload, the autosave should put him back on the bridge. We'll see if it's before or after he's gotten the weapons, though.
Yeah.
It's before,
no.
So he's gonna have to do the modeling sequence all over again. Ooh, that is a bit of time loss for Coensi there. Yeah, he for some reason his wind bomb didn't get the height it needed. I think he ran into
he was trying to drop down. He was trying to drop down to see if he could miss some of the malice instead of hitting it, and by dropping down, he got hit by the laser.
Yeah. Because
those guardians have, what's the word? Aimbot. so they'll just hit you.
They'll just hit you, and the thing with the guardian lasers is I think they do like physical damage and elemental damage, which is why they ignore one-shot protection, since both pieces of damage hit you. Anyway, CBF is in Thunderblight phase 2. Looks like he had a smooth blights.
Mm-hmm.
On to Calamity. Okay. Didn't catch if CBF hasn't eaten his meal yet, so we don't see any yellow hearts.
I think CBF was CBF. I picked up the Hardy Bass, but I don't know if he cooked it. Oh no, he did cook, but I don't think he ate it.
We'll see. Sometimes you get into the zone once you're into the boss rush, and you don't remember that you're going for a backup strat.
Maybe it's possible that he'll only eat it if he takes damage.
Okay, so phase 1 Calamity already going a little off script for CBF. Normally, after the Flurry Rush, we want Calamity to stay where Calamity is and just shoot lasers. But Calamity just followed CBF to the wall. So CBF has broken his bow. Gets the first laser parry and can spin, and this will probably end the phase. But at this point, who knows what Calamity's going to do in phase 2.
Yeah. One of the reasons why it's a smart idea to pick up the dragon part if you have had bad Ganon luck is if Ganon goes to the wall in second phase, you can't get him off. You don't have anything to shoot him off the wall with. So you have to hope for a parry, and these parries can be funny.
Oh no.
I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything at all. Oof.
The CBF misses the laser parry off the wall. Is going to be sent all the way back before the boss rush has to start over. Oh, that is tough. That is tough. If
he had eaten his hearty food, I think he might have actually survived that. Oof. It's entirely possible he would have survived that.
Yeah, so in phase 2, Calamity, I think, has like 5 or 6 different attacks. They can all be parried off the wall, but each one of them has a slightly different timing. That laser has a different timing from the ground laser parry, so kind of fighting against your muscle memory for that parry is really, really tough. And in fact, that laser parry is probably one of the toughest attacks to parry for that reason. CBF does get Windblight Skip again, and so he's in the boss rush. Coensi is
now 2
on to
full blights
Thunderblight.
behind. Yeah, 2 full blights behind. Coensi has now done what So I said this before, that Coensi looked like he was taking very safe strats so that he could kind of make sure that he wouldn't die at any point, get any serious time loss, so that if something happened, he would be able to take advantage of it. And it looks like if he has a clean Ganon, he will win this race. But as we all know,
nothing is
happen.
guaranteed in Calamity, so
everything happens so much, so you know.
Okay, Coensi breaks Thunderblight's shield, picks up the boomerang, so 4 hits here, and then a spin with an edge of duel should end the phase. CBF at that point misses the wake-up headshot this time, so is going to need some follow-up hits on Water Blight to end that phase.
All right, Coensi starting Ganon, and starting with
starts
a
off
Flurry
with
Rush.
Flurry Rush. I think one of the things that's a little bit open at this point in the community is what is the best strategy for 6 Ancient Arrow Calamity. I think different runners have been experimenting with using the Ancient Arrows at different points in the Phase 1 fight. So here we see Coensi do Flurry Rush, pick up the shield and bomb arrows. Misses that parry, and then uses the Ancient Arrows while he's farther away. But we saw CBF unload the 6 Ancient Arrows immediately at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah.
A second chance at the parry, gets it this
Very
time.
nice. I only lost 1 heart to that, which I'm not sure how. Those, if you miss a laser parry, it either destroys your shield or you die.
Yeah,
I would rather destroy your shield.
I think the Royal Shield has enough durability to survive a hit, and Coensi was lucky that he was late on the parry, so the shield was able to block it, and he took the 1 heart of damage from kind of the area effect fire afterwards. Coensi into the stun lock here.
And once you're in second phase and you have gotten the laser from Ganon, you can begin the stun lock, which as long as these runners keep their rhythm, they can do this for the entire phase, basically.
One note I don't think we mentioned is that Coensi did not get the Dragon Fang. That is a strategy he has used in the past, but decided not to here. But his attack up potion is long enough for him to comfortably finish Calamity.
With a minute to spare, even. So that was
with a minute to spare.
The Royal Shield can't block the laser, according to Piston in chat.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Wonder what happened there. Interesting. Okay.
Molly saying he parried the explosion.
Only Daybreaker, Ancient, and Hylian Shield can. Okay. Wonder why you only took 1 heart of damage then. Okay. Something to look into later. Coensi has now finished Ganon and is at Dark Beast, and he's pretty much in the clear for the rest of the run. Even if you die in Dark Beast, as I like to mention, you respawn at Dark Beast. You don't have to redo Blights. But most of these runners have practiced enough so that dying to Ganon is a freak chance, usually. CBF going into second phase Ganon. Hopefully this will go smoother than last time. Coensi going with...
in chat saying GG's already.
Oh, man. Oh. How would one die to Dark Beast run straight into his Fire Breath? You can, if you get stepped on, basically. You get stepped on if you catch fire from his Fire Breath. if you're not careful, basically, if you're not paying attention, you can die to Dark Beast.
Yeah, we've seen it happen in this tournament. I think sometimes runners take the idea that this is an auto-scroller a little too seriously and just kind of do whatever here. If you kind of fool around on the route that you take with your horse, you'll run into Dark Beast, and it won't take long for Dark Beast to deal 3 hearts of damage.
So CBF has closed his game. Looks like has he forfeit?
Well, he did say GG, so I think he's conceding round 1. Kind of one aspect of a best of 3
right.
is, I think when we saw best of 1, we saw players kind of play it out and finish the run. But with a best of 3, I think there is some incentive to move on to the next match.
Yeah, not waste your time. Yeah. So I guess GG's to CBF. Making that call. It's not nice. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good. But you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but now he gets a little bit of a mental break. He can kind of try to reset for the second game of this best of 3.
Yeah.
All right, Coensi finishes. Race time is telling us 33:35.
But in RTA, it was something closer to 31, I want to say, or low 32.
Low 32, yeah.
So GG is to Coensi. Excellent comeback. Going for, again, a strategy that I think is highly underrated, which is waiting for your opponent to make a mistake and being ready to take advantage of it, which is something you can absolutely do in a race like this. Losing time on plateau meant that basically he was able to win this round. So we'll have to see how the next match goes. I think we're going to take a little eensy-weensy break between the 2 runs.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be just taking it over to short break here, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes to go for game 2. So stay around for that.
Yeah. Everyone stand up, stretch, go get a drink, drink some water, go pee,